For my instructional method project, I am using a visual board, the First Then visual board. My student is a 4-year-old male in 4K. He's currently being evaluated for autism. He has limited vocabulary, he lacks focus in the classroom, and it is difficult for him to follow instructions. So his focus, or what we're working on, is for him to stay focused and to actually stay in the classroom, physically stay in the classroom. For that, we are going to use a First Then visual board that will be used in a classroom setting to keep him engaged and focused. The visual board will allow him to be focused and engaged, continue to work in the general education classroom. He will be more engaged in classroom tasks. The First Then board offers a predictable format for students in a structured environment. I'm choosing the visual board because he cannot read yet, and the pictures that I'm using will draw his focus to what's happening, and hopefully he'll focus on that instead of everything else around him. And they'll give him a good visual description of what he's supposed to be doing. I found an article from the Hamill Institute of Disabilities, and it said that visual supports are positive for students, giving them a predictable format for organizing their tasks, and it also allows them to show more opportunities for success. And the visual boards offer that, or allow them to be more engaged in classroom activities. So the visual board will be specific to what the entire class is doing as a group. So our student has difficulty focusing on the different tasks that we're doing in the classroom. So by using the First Then board, it'll help him to identify and for the teacher to show what exactly needs to be done in a first, and then what they need to do after that. So it might be, which is my example video, it is first we cut, then we glue. We are not going to do a reward system until he's mastered the first and then tasks in the classroom. For data collection, I have a sheet, which is on the next slide. Check marks are for success, which is determined if the student is focused and if he attempts the task. And I will give him 3 chances to attempt the task. I will say, first we do this, then we do this. After that, I will just point to it 2 additional times. And if he does not, if he's not successful, then I will give him a check mark. And check marks are if he's distracted and he's not focused on the task, or if he gets up and walks away. In trying this out, there's approximately 8 times that it's used in the classroom when we ask him to do something and then something else. So here's my progress monitoring sheet and my data collection sheet. So the check marks are for success, and the X's are if he fails the attempt. So if he gets up and he's distracted. So it has his name, the month, what quarter we are in, and then Monday through Friday up on top. Here's my first draft of my instructional video. For my student, I'm going to use a visual board, the First Then visual board. We have the board, and we also have the pictures to go along with it. We have the clip art type pictures, and we have the real life type pictures. We're going to start with the clip art type pictures for him, and if he needs a better understanding, we'll go with the real life pictures. So we have the First Then visual board. Then we also have a reward board. So if he can do something first and he can do it 3 times, then he will get his reward, which would typically be a break with Play-Doh or fidgets, and he'll get a 5-minute break. So typically with him, he kind of takes off with anytime we have to leave the classroom. So we'll first start with when we have to take bathroom break, which means even washing our hands before snack, or milk in the afternoon, or lunch. So we'll start with the bathroom. So first bathroom, then let's say we come in for snack. And then if he can do that, he will get a reward. And let's say we do, after snack, we do work. So for snack, then work. So after my first video, I went along with some of the feedback that I received from my peers. I focused on one thing instead of having, so I just did the first then board and I didn't add the rewards yet until I knew that he had mastered the tasks that I was looking for him to master. And so I took away my reward board for now, but eventually we'll add that in once he has mastered doing 2 steps in a row. I also use lesson picks, and I am just using a few of the options or the tasks. They're all clip art because I feel that if he were to see a picture of himself, he'd get more distracted by that. So I went with the clip art. So here's my final video. For my student, we are going to be using a visual board, the first then board. He will be using this so that he can stay focused and engaged in the classroom material. For this board, we are going to use things like first print, then cut, or cut, then glue. Let's see, maybe wash hands and then circle time, wash hands, bathroom break, rest time, or even wash hands, snack time. So this will be on a board at his desk, and when we need to start the task, he'll have the paper in front of him, or the board, and we'll say first we cut, then we glue. And he will either succeed and get a check mark by focusing and actually attempting the task, or if he will get an X, which means he failed the attempt, which means he was distracted, he wasn't on task, and maybe he gets up and kind of runs around the room, which is what we're trying to stay away from. So first I would say, okay, Carson, we're going to cut first and then glue. And if he does not start with cutting and starts with glue, I will just tap at it and not say anything, but just tap at it to remind him that we're cutting first. And if he can get through the first step, then I will tap at the second one without actually saying anything. So after that, a different time, we may say, put this in front of him and tell him what it means first. Wash hands, then snack. So we'll walk over to the bathroom, and if he's not washing his hands, he'll have this in front of him to say, and I can point again to say, or to mean wash hands. And then after that, he'll know snack time is here. I chose these because he is in 4K. He cannot read yet, so he can look at the visuals and see what he needs to do without having to read what it says. I also chose this one because it will help him stay engaged. There's visuals for him to look at and to better understand what's happening. So for progress monitoring, I have on here a check mark for success and an X if he is not successful. And eventually, I'd like to have, once he gets 5 check marks, meaning he's successful 5 times out of the 8 that we're doing right now, 5 times he'll get extra time on his device, which is a reward for him. But we're not to that point yet, so thanks. Also, for these tasks, I'm keeping it specifically in the classroom, things that he will do in the classroom. We're not going to push it out to specials or lunchtime until he can master the first and then task. Here are my references for the article that I found to go along with my video. Thanks for watching.